Now, return of the other Scottish collection here tonight. Please welcome back to the Dodo stage, Penny Faulkner. Higher, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that right?
Yeah. When I was little, I had a friend whose parents had a kind of glass-topped coffee table, and they had a jigsaw puzzle underneath it of Escher's geese, which is that picture where you've got the white geese and the black geese kind of flying into each other. And I can remember being fascinated by this and sort of sitting and just looking at it for ages, almost like you'd look at an optical illusion. And so I've written a poem about it years later, just called Escher's Geese. Beneath the plate glass of the coffee table, the puzzle lies complete and safely frozen. Sipping my orange squash, I watch the geese emerge from flat fields into tautened wings and beaks, folding and smoothing and stretching the air to sound. As in ourselves, flocks shaken from feeding lift into a joust of opposites above the towns, to beat out life, strain it to clarity, the sweep of desire, the recompense of silence. This poem is also about silence. One of my heroes, or heroines I guess, is Jane Austen. If I had to invite 6 people for dinner, she would certainly be one of them, if you could have people back from the dead. And this is about a bit in Pride and Prejudice, where she's talking about the first proposal scene where Darcy is proposing to Elizabeth and it's all going disastrously wrong. And there's one line where she says the pause was to Elizabeth's feelings dreadful, where he's just told her he wants to marry her and she's just turned him down, and there's this awful pause. And I've always been struck that Jane Austen doesn't go into it, she just kind of says this and then leaves it. And so this poem, I guess, is me sort of thinking, well actually, what went on in that pause that Jane Austen doesn't tell us about. It was an awful silence, and it seemed to last forever. Outside I could see a figure, one of the maids. Actually, now I think about it, there must have been 2 people there. I think I could hear hushed voices, and laughter, perhaps. I forgot afterwards to mention it. It was not really my business, but I noticed crushed stems and grass in that corner the next day, as if, oh, this is of little matter. I only watched because I couldn't bear your shock and grief. I remember the way you clenched your jaw, turned your head, so that I could not see your silent, swallowed tears. This is another Jane poem, but it can be whichever Jane you wish it to be, really, any literary Jane that you choose, and it's just called Jane. I can flip you open at any page, your yellowing, black patterned wings opening a world within my hands that is soft and frail with love, its corners curling up like autumn leaves. There you are as I left you, shelling peas for dinner, and I am still amazed, still wondering if you might close yourself to me, withdraw your gift of being, disintegrate again into an obstacle course of loops and dashes. Instead, you draw me in until I know the texture of your speech, the silences you wind within each phrase like skeins of wool. I close your wings shut and turn towards sleep, but you're holding me now. You feed on the flame of my world. The last one is one I wrote, I think last year, when it was my 30th birthday, and I was thinking back over my 20s, which I think are always sold to you as this amazing decade, really, and in some ways it is amazing, but I think that also your 20s is not always the most straightforward of decades. And so this is kind of a retrospective poem. It's called Enough Blue Sky. Scrappy mongrel clouds tussle over scraps of sky as a wire dotted with starlings pings open into flight. In the fields stands a bridge, propped up alone in the middle of munching cattle. There are rumours about a road. In a circle, the first and the last become neighbours, and I am ready to stake my claim to the front of the line. Whippet alert and eager, plaited and checked and waiting beneath this rare summer sky, ungrazed by clouds. The morning's clarity has curdled into plump cream puffs, but you sip your coffee, measure the blue with flicks of your eyes. There's enough blue sky to make your husband a suit. It'll be a fine day. Thank you.
Well, that was Penny Faulkner. So that is the end of our evening, and I'd like to ask you to put your hands together again for James Easton. Anne Macaulay. Penny Faulkner. I'm Patrick Cunane. So please leave your email addresses if you'd like to be kept in touch with what we're doing here at the Poetry Cafe. We're back on the 20th of June, so the wonderful P.R. Murray will be performing then, and Lisa Kelly and a couple of other people yet to be announced. The bar is open till 11 o'clock, so that gives you plenty of time to discuss the poems you've heard and maybe write a few more of your own. So anyway, thank you for coming to our Spring Tide show, and you've been very welcome. Thank you.
Cheers.